Microphones are hot, which is always a good thing. Welcome to Tarnation TV. Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends, really, until it's done. My name is Blaine Donald, joined with Brian Wolf. This is Tarnation TV. This is Talladega Nights, and this is the Shake and Bake Series, race number 2. Thank you for watching. Brian, how you doing?
I am doing great, and even greater now. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, man. This is going to be such a treat. This is going to be a lot of fun. Like you said, this is race number 2 of the Shake and Bake series that runs on Saturday nights. It's a 10-race series that will have a championship race at the end. It's collective points over 10 weeks. So this is week number 2, and we are about to let them loose and have some fun, man.
Fun, yeah. I mean, fun last week. Peeling through the replays, we're going to show you some recaps from last week anyway. I'm going to queue up. Basically, let's start with Greg Palmer's burnout from our drone pilot extraordinaire. Dominated the race, and like he said in the post-race interview as well, his team. So if you're curious as to who Greg Palmer's team was, I could have pulled half an hour of clips from the teamwork that these 3 guys specifically. I'm going to put it up on screen right now. We're gonna call this this is basically previously on the Shake and Bake series. Now, I'll walk through this clip, and it's amazing to watch these guys work. So as you can see here, I'll pause it. This, at the top of your screen, you'll see an orange car. That is the 711 of John Godfrey, part of the Palmer team. We're focused on the 00 car at the bottom of the screen of Buckshot, or Kelly Cossey. As you can see, they're kind of spread out, but not for long. This is amazing to watch. You'll see Godfrey at the top. The black car in front of him is the number 3 of Gary Heiser. He just moves the 3 out of the way to get behind the 22. Kelly will jump in line with those 3 guys in front of him to basically create the slingshot down into turn number 3. And hey, Brian, look what happens. The 00, the 711, and the 22 are like directly in line. They did this the entire race.
And that's exactly how they finished. Greg Palmer 1, John Godfrey 2, and Kelly Causey rounded out the top 3. And these guys some of these guys really work well together, and it shows. These guys are just really strong.
Even this clip here coming up, you can see, I'll rewind this a little bit. You can see this setup right here. The pace car has just left the track. We were under yellow going to green. Now, because they're always in front of each other, when you go back to green, they have to be double file. Look at the gap that Kelly creates. There's a 2-car gap between him and Palmer. And gee, I wonder what that gap's for. It's so John could slide up to the hide line. And there they go again. All 3 guys, again, are just going to freight train. Who drives the 7? That's Bobby Farrell. And it's just, like I said, the entire race, these guys did this. It's fun to watch. I mean, if you're gonna beat these guys at their own game, you're gonna have to play the game and do what they do, because there's no way you're gonna beat these guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're talking about week 1 last week, the first race.
One race under a belt.
Better from here.
Yeah,
it's going to even get better from here. But yeah, they freight trained Bobby Farrell at the end there. And it looks like in week number 2, they are getting ready to go to qualifying. So we can talk for a few more minutes on that. But last week's race showed, 7 caution laps, 7 cautions for 28 laps, which was just over half the race length. So this week we're hoping for a little bit less cautions, and these guys are going to have to be a little bit more careful now, because I mean, it's week number 2 and they're collecting points over 10 weeks. So good finishes are key to if you want to be there for that championship at the end.
Yeah, speaking of cautions, do you want to take a look at the number 9 wreck, which actually ended up taking Bob Dixon out of the race as well?
Sure, yeah, let's show some highlights from last week. Yeah,
I've got a
see how
couple.
Intense this actually is.
Yeah, a couple new highlights. We're on the number 9 driven by Chris Elliott, and he gets tangled up with Brian, I believe it's Brian Lovell in a 043. And
this is when he rolled a bunch of times. That was a pretty wicked crash.
They went off the line down into the inside wall and just hammered that wall. And then you can see here Dixon with the Blitzkrieg, that basically took his engine out.
Right. Yeah.
And then Chris goes for a tumbly ride. So we get a couple different angles of this, and the final angle I have is an in-car view. So you get to ride in the driver's seat with Chris as he rolls about 7 times. I didn't count the flips.
I'm going to have to watch this later on the replay broadcast, because just as a reminder, I can't see actually the broadcast right now. I'm not seeing what you and the viewers are seeing. So I'll try to keep up until we go live.
Yeah. In-car view is, hope you're not nauseous. Because this car does not stop rolling. But that definitely caused some damage to a couple of cars, and the track surface had to actually be repaired because the intense impact with the ground, I don't know, dislodged a bunch of pavement? Does that sound good? But yeah, quite the ride for Chris and Bob and everybody involved in that one. Unfortunately, that was one of the, I would probably call that one of the more entertaining accidents to watch. There was a couple more bigger accidents, but that was definitely one that took out a couple of contenders. So I'll put that on screen there. So I got to get the game fired up because this thing runs a little bit better without the game being fired up. But the points from last week, and a reminder, this is after one race.
Yeah, I have it pulled up here.
Do you have it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
so
they've
created.
I'm looking at the results from last week, actually, which are going to be the same because they only raced one time so far. So it's going to be the same as the standings. So Greg Palmer, of course, won the race. And actually, just to touch on that for just a second now, they have something going on here that we should probably touch on too. Later on in January, the second Saturday in January, they're planning an all-star race for Talladega Nights. And if you win an event, meaning the sprint races that they always have here on Fridays and Saturdays, if you win one of those events, or you win an event in this Shake and Bake series, that makes you eligible for the All-Star race that's coming up in January. And hopefully we'll be covering that and having fun with that. Second place last week, of course, was John Godfrey in the 711, always strong. I'm looking at the points here. They're breaking down into 10. So 180 points leads it, 170 on through fourth with Randy Waugh. Gary Heiser in fifth. Pat McCarsky in the 0 car, coming in sixth. What is that? Herbert Solomon?
Herbert Solomon. Yep.
And the numbers 87 come up seventh, and Brad Otto, he's a sneaky one, and in eighth place, number 31, and Jeffrey Elliott, league owner, one of the owners of Talladega Nights and head admin, number 56, come in ninth. And rounding out the top 10 from last week is Christian Torres in the number 4 car. That runs down 180 through 143 collective points.
See, now the points system, as you can see from Greg Palmer up the top there, at 180, he did not get the pole, and he did not lead the most laps. The pole and the most laps, I believe, went to Roberts. So there is a
sure. I have it up here. Yeah, Greg Palmer started in the 9th position.
Mm-hmm.
And
there is a possible 190 points you can get in one race if you get the pole position, qualify first. If you lead the most laps in the race, and if you win, you can get 190 points. So every position matters.
Right. Yeah.
But even leading a lap, even if you just lead one.
Yeah. Every point is going to count in this series, and here we are coming into week 2 already, and these guys are, I'm telling you, they're chomping at the bit, so to speak, because these guys are ready to go. I just ran the sprint races with, just to touch on that, and I finally on TTV, our second broadcast, I get to kind of toot my own horn a little bit. I actually won tonight the sprints event with a collective 14 points at the end of 5 sprint races. So I earned our sponsorship, Tarnation TV, TTV, a spot in the All-Star race in January. So we're real proud of that. And tonight, this race is going to be wild, I'm telling you.
Yeah, especially watching the teamwork. I'm curious behind the scenes, like who the rest of the people in this series right now need to attack these guys because they're just going to walk all over them. So there needs to be other friendships forming up. And because you can see from those replays, Palmer, Godfrey, and Kelly, like Buckshot. I got to remember to call him Buckshot because he, on TeamSpeak, he's Buckshot, and then in the race, he's Kelly, and I keep forgetting who's who. But and there's a couple other guys too
characters that run over here. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, there are a couple other guys. I think Nate is part of that team as well. Like, there's some guys from Rolling Thunder Gaming that they won't race each other. They'll just race with each other to beat everybody else.
Right. Yeah.
So you don't.
These guys are teaming up and forming rivalries already. Yeah.
And the size of these races, as far as driver count is concerned, we're looking at, like, you might not win, but if you're consistent, you can make that championship race after 9.
We've got about, I think there's going to be at least 25 tonight. Last week we had 28, well, of which only 15 actually finished the race. Bobby Farrell came in 15th. Everybody was either crashed out or had engine problems or just retired it after falling so far back. But tonight's going to be different, I think, and you're going to see this series change a little bit as it goes because of the collective points thing. And we're going to see. I don't think it's going to take you or I to create the drama that that's going to unfold here over the next few weeks.
And speaking about points too, there was at the end of each race the results you'll see on screen that I can put up there. I use the export from the game to show you guys what the final results are, and those are unofficial results because there was one penalty from last week, and that was Doug Hewlick in the 23. They deemed that he was a cause of an accident, and he didn't pit second time around and take 5 tires, and he was penalized 1 lap at the end of the race. He only lost about 6 points, I believe, but I think he had 112 points and dropped him down, you can see there, to 18th spot to get 106 points. I mean, at the end, it's a short season, man. At the end of 9 races, those 6 points could come in handy, so we'll get to see what happens.
Absolutely, yeah. And like I said, one of the parts of this type of stuff, this style and this format is, even if you fall back, if you're involved in a wreck or whatever, and you fall back, you got engine troubles or whatever, you got to hang on to it because you just never know. Those leaders could crash out, and you know what I mean, and go further back than you. So it's always a good idea not to retire early, because again, the collective points is what's going to win the championship, and that's what these guys are after.
Yeah, and I very rarely ever retire unless the car completely blows up, because you never know what can happen. I mean, you could gain 1 spot, but that could be 5 points, 10 points, depending if it's a lap led, or there's a lot of different things that can happen. So, if you can stay out there, and you need to obviously meet a minimum speed requirement. If you can only do 170 mile an hour, you're probably going to get a black flag and be asked to leave the track. But in the draft, you might be able to keep speed, even with damage.
Absolutely. Now we're about to go green here. We're about to grid these guys up in here in about 10 seconds. And I'm just looking at the qualifying results here. And we've got, without you or I, we're going to have 26 drivers. So this is going to be a barn burner for sure. And lo and behold, that number 55, Ken Roberts, who helped me actually win those sprints earlier tonight, took the pole. With 52.445 second lap.
Wow. The entire field was 52 seconds. They're all within half a second of each other.
Yes,
Which shows you how fast these guys are, right?
And that's exactly how close they race too. We've got a few new names to mention here tonight. Also, I don't know if Rodney Sollins raced last week or not. I don't believe he did. But Rodney Sollins is back with us in the number 38. Now, he did race last week. I take that back. And 088, Greg Lavelle is here. One of the head admins here at Talladega Nights, Bob Dixon, starting fourth. In fifth, we have number 94, Jessica Shelton. She's been around the broadcasting game and been around this racing for a while.
Jessica's here tonight.
Right, and here we go. We just called them to the grid, so here we go.
Race number 2. This time around is half a pace lap.
We're going to have to hit drive and retire.
I did already. Way ahead of you, buddy.
Okay, I missed the grid, so that's good enough. Actually, it looks like we're going to have 28 drivers again this week. I miscounted here.
Oh, right on. Another full field almost. This game can handle 42. Of course, 2 of those spots are taken up by Brian and myself. But definitely cool to see Jeffrey in the... Oh, yeah, Jeffrey's in the Shake and Bake car. I painted that one for him there last week. Same logo as the 510. Where is Palmer? Last week's winner. Let's focus on him.
He's in the number 8th position. Number 22, Greg Rocket Palmer.
Let's ride in the cockpit with Palmer and hear what it sounds like.
10-4, I'm on.
Well, there it is. That's what it sounds like, and that's what it looks like from the cockpit of one of these things. There's not a whole lot of room out there, and they are already up to 195 miles an hour. They haven't even done one lap yet.
Yeah, they're coming down to complete lap 1 with... I'm sorry about that.
Lap number 1 is under the belt. I do believe that they will allow 1 restart. Of course, that doesn't come into play right now because we got around there without any accidents. But if we ever do start a race and there is a wreck before you get around, they will reset it, give everybody a fair shot, and that's no big deal. We'd like to see that. Make sure, accidents can happen. Wheels can slide off, steering wheels can slide off desks and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So
I do apologize for that. I hope that's my one and only gremlin for tonight. My car actually suddenly appeared on pit road like it wanted to race, so
cool.
I had to retire it and shut it down and come back. So,
yeah. Hey boys, can you come out here and get this on the hook?
Yeah, through the magic of the internet, it didn't take that long, but
yeah.
But Ken Roberts is already immediately going to work with Rodney Sollins up front with Bob Dixon in tow in the 43 car. Man, these guys really know what to do. They know it's a long race. They're just pedaling towards that first pit stop that'll be coming up here soon.
Yeah.
So they're spreading out somewhat, and I'm going to let you take it for just a second.
No problem. And you got Nate sliding in behind, Palmer in behind there. These guys won't be racing each other. They'll just be pushing each other, pulling each other, bumping each other. And they're all veterans of this game too. Like we said last week, this game's been out for almost 20 years now, and everybody in this field's pretty much been playing it the whole time. So
Right. Oh, yeah. This field is very experienced. I mean, these are the best, not just sim racers, but I've said it before. These are the best super speedway sim racers that you're going to find on the internet. Honestly, these guys have been racing together. A lot of them been racing together for just years and years and years. And I just made a post on Facebook today about me making this transition from, because I've been racing this sim for over 20 years now. So making the transition from there to doing this to the broadcasting thing has really been a treat, man. This is so much fun from this perspective. Just watching these guys and not having to be in that hornet's nest sometimes is a lot more fun, than because these guys in the back, I'm kind of watching some of the guys towards the back from spectator view, and I can tell that these guys are already trying to find each other, trying to run together. And just really keeping up with the field, and we'll see what happens during these first cycle of pit stops. But for right now, they're just kind of spread out and going single file up front.
I love up front here how they're so close together. I'm going to try to get rear bumper cam here. I got rear bumper cam from Ken Roberts looking back at Sullins, and all you can see is grill tape. These guys are already pushing each other. This is how close they get. Look at that. There's no space between these cars. This is how this track works.
Oh, it's outstanding. If you understand the draft and which comes with experience, these guys, they're really just, they make it look so easy, but it really is not easy to win these races. And these guys, I think, are just biding their time up front. Because if you're say you're third, fourth, fifth back in line, and you try to make a move to go to the front, if you don't have any takers to come with you, you're going straight to the back.
No. And what's it look like right now? To me, from helicopter camera here, I got about the first 10 positions all in a straight line.
Yeah, they're all pretty much just lined up, spreading out. I think they're just riding towards that first pit stop that they know is coming.
And what's our window again? Probably around lap 18 or so.
I believe, 17, 18, you'll see them start to peel off if we don't catch a yellow. But they're spreading out pretty much single file all the way back. There's a couple too wide, but
Denny Curl's out there by himself on the 41. But they'll find space. It's early in the race, and it's you got to find your spot and see where you want to kind of hang out.
Exactly, yeah. But look at the names up front. Ken Roberts, Rodney Sullins, Bob Dixon, the 079 of Nate. He's kind of a sleeper sometimes, but he's always in the mix. And Greg Palmer, he knows how to play it smart. Now they're starting to split up too wide.
What's up with Level? The 043 of Brian Level I just saw from helicopter cam there. He looked like he went down to the pits.
I don't know.
It looked like he was warping side to side in the turns. I don't know if he's having connection issues with his internet, but second line has formed. Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
He is on pit road and retired. I don't know if maybe he was having a connection issue. I know he was warping out during the sprint races earlier this evening.
Oh, wow, that's too bad.
I think he may be having a connection issue. But
retired.
Going back towards the front now.
They tried to form a second line to the bottom because we all know Roberts and Dixon and Nate and those guys like to run that middle line. There is a couple guys on the bottom trying to get something moving. It's not working out too good. It's Jessica and who's in the 21, Randy Waugh. On the low line there, trying to get something going.
Yeah, he's been struggling a little bit lately. I like the way he races, though. He always plays fair, and he gets excited, so excited for these races. I tell you.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a passion, man. Because we put, it's just a video game. Yeah, you're right, but it's a lot of hours in this game. And you know what? I just realized 931 is that DEI?
Let's see.
Robert Breedlove. I think he's using his real name. I never knew what his real name was. I was calling him Breedlove all last week, and I just realized now that the 931 is usually DEI.
Oh, okay, 10-4. We
so he put his real name in.
I thought we had another friend of Jessica's that come over. Cole Deaver? Maybe he's not in this one.
I
think
did
he
see
just come over.
Deaver, but
Oh yeah, he
I don't
is.
know
He's
where he
running
went.
actually 15th right now in the number 8 car. He's kind of a rookie, Cole Deaver, but from what we understand, he's been practicing, and look at that, he's cutting up half the field, so he's doing all right.
Let's go find him here. Let's focus on him. Deaver in the he's racing. He's in the Styles car. The wrestler, AJ Styles, shooting up the inside to the low line.
Yeah, he's
to hook up with the eye on the bottom. If he gets some help.
They're going 3. He's going to take him 3 wide with Randy Waugh on the outside. I got to mention Randy Waugh again because he's driving that the number 21 Spider-Man car for Cannon Hinnant. That's the race that the car that he raced in the race that we broadcast for Cannon back July 30th. So that was pretty cool. I got to give him a shout out for running that car again. That's a neat thing.
Yeah, that's cool. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Yeah, that was and I'll mention this too. Before in the sprint races, I started second in one of them, and I had Spider-Man and Tom Dixon in the Batman car up next to me. But the real hero was Ken Roberts, who pushed me to the win. So that was pretty neat.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, again, see, you got to have friends.
That's
Roberts
right.
pushed you to the win. We'll sit far back here in spectator cam for a while. We got everybody still together. Makarski's down 1 lap. What happened to him? Both Lovell brothers. The 088 is also retired. 2 laps.
I'll have to find a story there because I didn't see them go out.
Yeah, I mean, I saw
No
the
yellow.
043 leave the race. If you can rewind
That's
it,
right, yeah.
find a 088 and see what lap he went out on. If it's something spectacular, I can do a replay. If not, maybe we'll just leave it.
I really doubt if it was.
We would have seen it, I think.
Yeah. I'm not seeing him so far.
Now
he just pulled off and came down pit road and retired.
Strange.
He was running, real near the back, and then he moved to the inside and just pulled it off.
Yeah. Odd, because Brian did the same thing. So I'm focused on Outlaw right now in the back.
Maybe they had a connection issue. I know they live real near each other, so. And I know earlier that Brian Lovell had a little bit of a connection issue, but I don't know. Maybe there's a story there. We'll find out a little bit later.
Yeah. Some cars have fallen off the pace. Looks like Outlaw might be having some connection issues as well. He's fallen about 28 to 33 seconds at the line behind the leader. Tom Dixon's way back there as well, minus 26. But again, it's an early race. Maybe it's part of a strategy thing we're not really seeing. So, I mean, we'll have to see what happens.
I've been watching kind of Bob Dixon a little bit. Now, he's a guy that will try to make something happen. So if we keep an eye on him for a second, he's running in 3rd right now. He come back from 7th or 8th a few laps ago. So he's always one that, that'll try to make something happen. Him and that Nate, in the 079 behind him, Greg Palmer, he'll go with whoever makes a move, I believe.
I like that 079. He's got the Eddie Van Halen paint job on it.
We're getting kind of close to seeing them peel off for pit stops too, lap 14 of 47. So we might start seeing them. Try to see them. They'll migrate towards the bottom a little bit, trying to get onto pit road because it's hard to do from the top with traffic below you.
I'm trying to think of a good Van Halen segue. Like, if he decides to really put the pedal to the metal, he would be Unchained. Why can't this be love, Brian? We're running with the devil. I mean, let's do this thing. Come on. I'm here all day.
I reached down. I had nothing, Blaine.
Unchained is such a good song, too. Now we're going to talk music while we watch the NASCAR.
I'm just going to have to jump and
get
back
might as well. 15 laps in. We're coming in at the end of lap number 15, so that'll be the start of lap number 16. Awesome pack racing.
Peel off here.
Mm-hmm. Now, what usually will happen is there'll be usually 2 or 3 packs. Not everybody will go at the same time. So I'm focused on the leaders right now because they will probably be the one to start this.
Helicopter view back in about the, let's see, I'm not sure what position, but I want to see what happens if there's any incidents on pit road, because that will change the face of this race completely. If there's an incident or something would happen to some of these leaders, you know, now nobody's taken it yet. So here we come for lap 17.
Yeah, and the fuel window usually around 18, and, you know, you can come down early, maybe to avoid some traffic. What do you do for tires on your first pit stop?
I believe I would take left sides and then right sides on the next, especially if it stays green. If they would happen to, you know, if you happen to catch a yellow and you're bad mid-pack to back anyway, you might as well take all four and be a little bit more comfortable, you know, because the car tends to loosen up a little bit with less tires on the right side. You know, it tends to push a little bit. You got to steer it a little bit more, and you definitely just keep that pedal mashed, especially if you're leading. I expect that Ken Roberts, who's led this whole thing so far, and Rodney Solins and some of these guys up front, I believe they'll pit first first time around, because they haven't been able to conserve fuel. Oh, we got to spin around. Pat McCarskey's around on the inside lane.
Okay, off the racing line because I don't see a yellow.
No, there's
Outlaw
no yellow.
is holding the bottom line.
And they are making a pass on the number 68 of
Outlaw. That seems to be
Outlaw. Has gone a lap down for some reason. It looks like he's having a connection issue, and that's the reason why he's blinking on my screen a little bit.
Yeah, he was blinking pretty bad a few laps ago there, and I don't know if that's got it really... It just forces him to get out of the pack, unfortunately. You can stay connected and race. Oh, looks like we're going.
To peel off, yeah.
Are those lead lap cars?
They are. Tom Dixon was one of them. Bob Dixon are going together. You can see them working together. It looks like everybody made it on clean.
Okay. I'm focused on the front four right here. Right now I'm focused on Nate. We've got Robert Sullins, Bob Dixon, Nate, and Palmer and Shelton.
Cole Deaver pitted with this group too. And it looks like the CCR Outlaw is going to pit with them. But he's having connection issues.
It looks like this pack I'm looking at here might be getting ready to go down too. They're kind of staying on that yellow line. So I'm 99% sure they're headed to pit road right now.
Robert Breedlove is down and away. Bob Dixon's down and away. Looks like they're going to come out together.
And they all got in there. Look at that. See?
Oh, Godfrey's off in the grass.
Yeah, well, everybody got down there clean. That's amazing.
Yeah, this is good.
What can I see? I can see about, let's see, 4, 8. There's about 12 or 13 cars right there that just got onto the pit road from 200 miles an hour. And nothing happened. Yeah, that's the talent of this crew.
Yeah, everybody's down and in clean. It looks like the other group is coming around. They should catch this group coming out and form back up into one big group.
We're looking at the long pit lane 1 cam. Looks like Roberts is going to get off first. Everybody gets off clean.
Yeah, looking good. Now, while they're getting up to speed, now Bob Dixon and them are already up to speed behind them, and they should be coming up fast. And they are. They're coming up to Randy, and hopefully they can latch on. Yeah, Bob Dixon and not quite sure.
Yeah, he is getting a huge push from the 931. They're locked together like glue, these guys. So they can definitely settle back in here after a couple laps.
Yeah, they're definitely going to catch Doug Hulick in that 23. I haven't seen him around much. I've been away from this league for a few weeks, but he's another regular around here to watch for, because I mean he's always a strong competitor. I mean he's the wild man. He's the one they should call Rowdy.
Yeah. That was a great pit cycle. That's amazing.
I'm sorry, Bobby Farrell back in the mix in that number 7 too. He finished decent last week. Had a good run.
He did. Do you know right off the top of your head his final finishing position?
Let's see. He finished in the 15th position last week.
Nice. Out of 28
And
cars.
he was actually the last one on the lead lap.
Okay.
The others, 16 through 28, retired.
So he
for
actually,
one reason or another.
so he would have actually gained that spot from the penalty to Hewlett.
Yes. Yep.
So that's, see, again, yeah. So Hewlett would have bounced down from 12th below him
Now-
being the first car a lap down. So I'm pretty sure that's how it would have fallen.
Now, if you go back on the leaders and take a look at who came out on top of those last pit stops, Greg Palmer now leads this race in the number 22. Again, there's a bonus point for him. After winning last week, he should have a good points night. 38, Rodney Sullins still holding off in that second position, and Nate in the 079. These guys all had tremendous pit stops, and Ken Roberts, who led most of this race, come back and forth, and they're still staying in a straight line, playing it smart.
Like we say, yeah, those are the teammates, and they're going to be the ones to beat. If anybody back in this pack wants to beat these guys, they're going to have to just not race each other and try to find like a 4 or 5 car pack to see if they can catch them. But nobody wants to jump out, you know?
And if you look at the rest of these names too, Jessica Shelton, she's been around this track a time or two. The 7-Eleven, John Godfrey, he's been around this track more than twice. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
87, 87. Herbert Solomon. I don't really know him all that great, but look, here he is again.
And that's it. He's in the mix with those names. Like if Jessica right now wanted to drop to a different line, or maybe go around them on the right side, I'm guessing that the 7-Eleven John Godfrey would help her out.
Jessica looked like she was maybe going to try, because she would have the help if they all come with her to make a move to the inside. It looks like she was looking, but maybe just trying to just ride and stay off the bumper of Ken Roberts. But all these folks have raced together before at some point in the past, so they can read each other pretty good at this track. Yeah,
exactly. And this is I believe this track was the original Talladega track that shipped with the game, but it's been modified to become multi-line racing, because when it right out of the gate, the super speedways were really dominant on that low yellow line. You just kind of stuck down there and went for it. The community took the track, edited the lanes, and changed a bunch of stuff, and they've come up with this Rolling Thunder version that just seems to be the staple for super speedway racing.
Absolutely. And if you go to the very tail end of this line, in the 11th position is, lo and behold, Bob Dixon caught that group coming off that early pit, because if you remember, he pitted a lap sooner than the rest of this group, and so he's going to have to do that again, actually, and hopefully somebody from this group will come with him when he does it, so he can keep up later on. It looks like they're wanting to spread out now, or maybe take them too wide here.
For a couple seconds, anyway. Oh, there is a yellow. That's the reason for the fan out. Yellow flag is up in the air for the first time this evening, as the cars will slow down on the back straight and wait for the pace car. Brian Wolf will comb through that replay to see what happens. The pace car is
to me like CCR Rick, number 42, and the 510.
In the Jack Daniels car, CCR Rick.
The 510 is coming up on the outside. Oh, he just moved over into his lane a little bit. They just simply got together, collected Chris Elliott, one of the other league owners.
I will rewind and find that. And just to mention
Randy
too,
Law got involved in that as well. Let me see what happened with him. Yeah, he was coming up behind him. Excuse me. He was coming up behind him, turned way left to try to avoid everything, and just got clipped by the other hit cars. So that's too bad for him. He turned right into the wall and punched a nose in it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just not enough room He got on the door. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm hopefully that most of these guys can keep on going. You wonder sometimes the damage.
That hard. Oh yeah, well he punched the nose pretty good there. I'll be surprised if he has enough engine to actually win, but he might be able to keep up. We're hopeful.
Yeah, we can see from this replay here, just no room to go for the 510.
We have all takers on pit road.
The 338 got around that. So there'll definitely be some damage repairs coming.
We've got some guys up in the front now. Gary Heiser and actually Jessica Shelton chose not to pit that time for some reason.
Oh, really?
And Gary Heiser, unless they were, I don't think they were involved in that accident. I'd have to back it up again, but and Bob Dixon chose not to pit that time either. Maybe he wants that lap back that he used up for his fuel.
They also may go around one more time. There is no cars lap down that are actually still running. We have cars lap out, but everybody currently is on the lead lap. Retired cars, Brian Lovell, Greg Lovell, Pat McCarskey, Tom Dixon, and CCR Outlaw have had to retire from the race, unfortunately. And there was some input from the drivers in the Canon race that the ticker scroll across the top of your screen was a little bit too slow, so I sped it up to 3. And they mentioned again last week, especially with 28 drivers on the course, that was still a little bit slow, so I moved it up to a 5. So that ticker now is trucking from right to left. So with a lot of cars, it does make sense for me to speed that up. And obviously, as always, I thank everybody for the input in the broadcasts, because I don't really see everything. I see that Jessica is now headed to the pits.
Now those cars that I mentioned earlier up front. Now Bob Dixon, I think he did pit and he stayed out. He played it smart. Yeah, but as far as fuel goes, I hope he has the fuel and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he stayed out, did he?
Yeah, I believe he did.
Interesting. The lights are still on?
Yes.
When they cross the line, let's see what happens to the lights when they cross the line. He might come in next time around, you think?
Lights are still on the pace car.
Looks like Jessica came in for a top-up and left side tires only.
Okay. Yeah, this changes things up a bit now, because now we're not seeing, with the exception of Ken Roberts and Palmer, I'm not seeing Rodney Sollins up here. Oh wait, there he is. Yes, I take that back. Okay, so we've cycled through then with Bob Dixon. For some reason, he might be looking for that extra lap of fuel. Let's see what he does here, because the lights still are on.
Yeah. I'm thinking he might be coming down now. He's just trying to go the distance. 2.66 miles in length, this thing. So every lap takes a while, even under yellow flag conditions. The problem with that is he'll obviously end up in the back.
Yeah, the lights still are on. I mean, if we want to, maybe we can call up Randy Wall on the radio here. Give me a second.
All right.
Randy, this is Brian and Blaine up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, man. Can you say anything about what happened maybe back there? I know you spun wide left trying to avoid that and then just got clipped. Or what happened before that?
I just saw two cars in front of me start spinning, and I went low, and I thought I was all the way through it, and right at the last minute, somebody clipped me, like you said.
10-4. All right, how's your race going? You still got the engine in it?
Yeah, I'm still good.
Okay,
just way in the back.
All right, yeah, because I see you punched the nose in pretty good, so we're hoping you can, keep up the song here.
Well, they didn't do any repairs on it, so I don't know. We'll find out when we get going.
Okay, 10-4, man. Well, thanks for talking to us, and we'll talk to you a little bit later.
You bet. Have a good one.
Thanks, Randy.
You're welcome.
That's cool. So they didn't even take the hammers out.
No, he said it didn't have any damage, which was surprising. I mean, he hammered that outside wall, nose first.
That's the thing. Sometimes the game, you know, you don't really know sometimes because, you know, if there's a buffer, maybe there's another car on you and they take the majority of that impact, you know, and then you get into the pits. I've had it happen. Like, oh man, I'm damaged for sure. And then I get down there, and for people who don't play this game, when you get into your pit stall, you'll hear you'll hear hammers smashing the car because you've taken damage and they're beating out the dents. He says they didn't even get the hammers out.
Yeah,
so there was no damage to that car.
Yeah, the last thing you want to hear in a race like this is that saw.
The saw is another sound effect that happens on pit road. They're either going to cut the hood off or they're going to cut the trunk off. I've seen guys with no trunks and rear bumpers in the main pack on this track.
Actually still be competitive. Yeah, that's kind of a neat thing. But
you need somebody behind you to take that air off the roof. I know that sounds weird again because the game's 20 years old, but that does make a difference. There is aerodynamics. That's how the drafting works. You know, if 3 cars are faster than 1, 10 cars are faster than 5. So I mean, the draft works. And if you have no rear bumper and trunk lid, and you've got 5 guys pushing you, you're fine. You're able to do 201 mile an hour on the back straight on this track. It's, if you're the tail end car with no rear end, you're kind of out of luck. You might fall off. But that even goes with a mint condition car. Sometimes you just make the wrong move and you can just fall back.
The lights are off and the pace car is pulling off here. So again, Ken Roberts is going to lead him down. Rodney Sullivan second. Greg Palmer up to third now. John Godfrey and Bobby Farrell snuck up there to fifth spot.
And we are going to ride along with Randy Waugh in the 11th position in the cockpit again because we like loud noises.
Back with you.
You are back, and we just have another yellow flag coming out right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was riding along with in the cockpit with Randy, so we saw the entire thing happen in his rearview mirror. Unfortunately, that accident
okay, are they
probably
racing back? No, they're not racing
no.
back to the line, but they are headed back to the line. So
yeah.
Let me back this up.
Do they race back with 10 to go here? I can't remember.
10 or under, I believe they do race back to the line. Normally they won't. If the yellow comes out and you can possibly hold your position, you hold your position.
Right. So the game is old enough where back when this game was made in 2003, the rules in NASCAR was when the yellow flag comes out, you race until you get to the stripe. And then that's where the field gets frozen as the cars cross the start-finish line. But they've changed that rule recently for safety reasons, safer for the drivers. Once the yellow's out, the field gets instantly frozen, and you just roll out of the throttle, and you slow down, and everybody, you know, is safer that way. They also, they practice that in this league. So then, but when we say race back with 10 to go, once we're within the last 10 laps, they race the yellow back to the stripe, so they will not lift.
Right, yeah. So it looks to me like the number 7 car got pushed by the 23 way down to the inside, and when he tried to come back up, he got into the 23, which collected the 94 and the 3 and the 87.
Right. From Randy's cockpit, we saw that happen. I saw the 7 get down on the apron there, get a little loose.
Involved after that too. Bob Dixon was in there. CCR Rick, Chris Elliott again. Number 41, Denny Carroll. And it looks like, is that Robert Breedlove? 931?
Yes. That's
Okay,
DEI.
yeah,
Yeah, I know him as
like he
DEI.
missed it. Looks like he slowed down enough to miss it. So,
Okay.
Poor Bob Dixon was on his roof again.
Oh, no. Hopefully, I mean, you can get away with a little bit of roof damage. I'm kind of hoping maybe
Yeah, he should
Bob's
be okay.
all right.
He really didn't. He just bumped into the back of somebody and then got. Ooh, he got sandwiched actually between 2 cars, but it shouldn't be too bad for him.
Just trying to find that spot there. Okay, here we go. Now we've got the replay coming at you. Yeah,
I'm just watching them all come off pit road now.
There we go. Trying to find a real camera angle. Yeah, so is it a full field pitting again? Seems like a normal practice.
They've pitted and come off. I want to try to maybe talk to one of these guys.
Yep, go for it. I'm showing a replay of the wreck. Yeah, Bob got caught. He was basically the peanut butter on that sandwich between the 388 and the 41. Unfortunately, just again, wrong place, wrong time. Hopefully that car's all right. It looks like it's got right side damage for sure, and there's some damage on the roof. But he is still on the track.
Let me see what the lights do here on the pace car. Yeah, it looks like we've got enough time to. Let me see if they go off. Maybe we'll talk to Rodney for a second. Let me see if I can call him up.
Yeah, pit road is empty. I'm just taking a look down pit lane 2. Looks like the 41's coming down. That makes sense. Probably to bash out some more possible issues from that accident there. Lap number 33 of 47. This is caution flag number 2. Total of 7 laps.
Still on. So let me try to call up Rodney.
Cool. Total of 7 laps under yellow so far. 2 yellow flags. Quick little pit stop there for Denny Carroll.
Number 38. This is Brian and Blaine up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, guys.
Oh, good, man. How's your race going, man? You and the 55 and Greg Palmer, the 711, you guys are just dominating this thing, looking really strong.
Yeah, we're having a good time out here. We've got a couple of us that are locked in already to the All-Star race, and we'll see if I can help that 55 get his way in. I always like running with these boys. This is my boys here, so it's gonna be fun.
It looks like fun.
Here's that storyline we're looking for, Blaine. These guys they've got another lap to go, so we can talk to Rodney for a minute. But yeah, it looks like some rivalries and some allies are starting to form up here. So this has really been fun to watch, Rodney.
Oh, good. I've been having fun out here. I know been up front and hadn't been in the back where, kind of mixing it up, but still it's fun out here racing with my buddies. Me and Ken Roberts go back about, 16, 18 years. So we both got back into racing about 2 years ago together. So it's been fun.
Very cool story, man. Very cool story. All right, well, I'm going to leave you go, man, and let you get back to work here.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. Look forward to watching it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We're having some fun, man.
Good.
Yeah, trying to get a view there at the side of Palmer's car, the 38, while we were talking to Rodney, but camera movement is limited in this game. You just kind of gotta. Hey, look, there's the bumper of one car and the bumper of the other one. Yeah.
You got to be the cameraman, producer, everything.
Yeah. sound engineer. Thank goodness I know
And
musicians. Yeah. At least I know musicians who write all the music that you hear in this broadcast. So the little jam at the beginning of this broadcast was made by my buddy Jonathan Barry. So that was very cool that he was able to lend that to Tarnation TV. So thank you, Jonathan. And at the end of the show, I'll play another band that he probably plays in. I think I'll play some Rise of Dissension. He plays bass in that band too. So I just know guys who play every instrument. It's so cool. I'm like, how do you get music for your YouTube show? I'm like, I know musicians, and I say, hey bro, you mind if I play your tunes? And they go, yep. And then I do. And I don't have to worry about the really Eagles showing up on my front door and arresting me because they're like the worst for copyright stuff. But
that's a really neat element to add to this too. I mean, not just the broadcasting part, but if we can, show the viewers that we have fun at this, and a lot of fun. And again, it's a ton of fun, and but it's also a lot of work, man. A lot of work goes into this stuff. So I got to thank you, Blaine, for pulling me into this little venture with you. And one thing I would like to mention, I know that, like I said, we did the Cannon race. We've done actually several of them. You've done 3 for me so far, but that last one in July was really special, and it was really successful, and we got the message out and stuff. So, and I've been getting ready to retire from driving. So, making the transition from that to this, I really want to thank Cannon himself, because, he was the one that kind of started this for me personally, when we did the broadcasts, and then I actually drove in the races. But he's, I got to thank him, because without him, I mean, I probably would have, retired and just, washed my hands of it. But I'll tell you what, the last year and a half, on that little crusade for him has been really fun, and I appreciate everything you did for me and them, and then pulling me into this venture to get this broadcasting thing off the ground has really been a treat, man. It's really been fun.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's been a lot of fun trying this angle of it as well, because I've played this game and raced in different leagues, and it's fun to take a different angle. And once all this broadcasting software became available, it's all free to download. It's all open source. So the amount of things that can be done by the community for this broadcasting software, and it's supported by YouTube and Twitch and all the other platforms, it's phenomenal what I can do with this thing. And they're getting fanned out back there. Is everything all right?
Yeah. They've just taken the green as we're up here daydreaming. They've taken the green. And I was going to mention before, we're getting down to 11, 12 laps to go here, 36 of 47. We're getting down to almost 10 to go. So we're about to see some racing here, I think.
Yes, I am focused right now on the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott, who runs this league. Somehow he just threaded a needle to get into that top line. He's lucky that, who's that in the number 7? Bobby Farrell gave him a space. So I'm curious if these guys are working together.
It looks like, Rodney Solins is in that second position, and the 079 of Nate, look at him go. Greg Palmer hanging strong there in fourth. He's a smart driver. He knows that he won last week. He's up there in the points, leading the points, and he knows that this 4th place finish, if it would turn out that way, would keep him there. So, these guys are smart. Not only are they good at what they do, they're smart. You know what I mean? They know how to win. That's why I try to follow them whenever I'm racing against them.
Yeah, that's the best way to learn, is to follow these guys. And we've got like stats that you guys can't see. Like, for instance, Ken Roberts has led 27 laps in this race, and we're on lap 37, so he's going to get the bonus points for most laps led. We're just focused on Deaver back here in the 8 car, trying to find a spot, hoping that these guys can get a freight train moving. The 31 on the outside of Brad Otto. That might be interesting to watch.
An outside line forming now, coming up on the outside, so this is going to get interesting.
Yep, it looks like Waugh's going to join it. If they can hold that top line, because I can see right from that angle there, we've got 7 cars in that front pack, and I guarantee you those guys are all just going to push Roberts.
Look at them all latching on in the back, too.
Yep.
This is going to get good.
This is going to get good. I might have to get a wider angle of this.
And with Randy leading them down now, see, now here comes Buckshot, and they're all going to jump out there on the outside.
Yeah, it's getting a little shuffled now. If they can get that line,
jockey, and this is crazy.
Yeah, if they can get that line hooked up and because those front 4 or 5 or 6 cars are just going to push Roberts all the way to the win.
Right? Yeah.
They're not going to try
teammates,
to pass him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in the upcoming weeks, we're going to start seeing even more alliances forming, trying to beat these 4 that are up front now.
Absolutely zero space between the 7 car pushing the 56 of Elliott down the back straightaway there. And that Highline is making a move.
Yeah, Buckshot leading them down, and who's that jumped out? Nate jumped out.
Oh, Nate jumped out.
Yeah, Randy's back there biding his time. Randy Wall in the 21. So he didn't really take on too much damage, like he said. He's still keeping up and moving forward.
Oh, this is looking like a 3-wide situation. Looks like sometimes these guys get they need to take a little look. These cars, the setup on these cars, your car won't really overheat, so you don't need to take a look out to get air in underneath it. Sometimes you do need to get air in the grill, but not so much with this setup. There's zero space between these cars, and that Highline is working, and they've caught Roberts.
Now here comes Jessica Shelton to the bottom. Chris trying to make a move, make something happen. She's going to make it 3 wide to the bottom. Coming around with, I believe that's her teammate. No, Gary Heiser, number 3, going to make it 3 wide as well.
We're into the last 7 laps here. Coming up to the start of lap number 41.
We are 3 wide and 3 deep near the back.
Yep.
Jessica
Almost looks like they want to do 4 wide.
No, yeah, they are looking like 4 wide. Jessica Shelton really coming on strong on the bottom with people moving in behind her.
This is getting good. You can't see the smile on my face, but it's touching the walls. They're starting a 3rd line in the front now. It's contagious.
Oh boy.
That could turn into
Jessica
4 wide right there.
Still
4
hanging on to that bottom.
wide. They are 4 wide, like 2 rows deep
4
there.
wide now.
And they're holding it. So good. 195 miles an hour right now, locked onto the 38 of Rodney Sellens, and that'll be an average for everybody in this pack right now, holding 195 mile an hour.
Jessica Shelton from the back to 3rd in just a couple of laps. Look at this 3 wide.
I was just going to say,
now.
Where did Jessica come from?
Look at that. Now she's.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
That's race back. It's race back, so we're going to stay locked on the front here. There's still lots of time left.
47. Yeah, they're going to get, I believe, unless. And look at Jessica Shelton with Gary Heiser pushing to the bottom. Wow, they're banging off each other near the back.
Godfrey just joined that low line.
And looks like Palmer and Sullins are going to stick with their buddy, number 55, Ken Roberts, and take him to the stripe. But Jessica ain't giving up, man. I'll tell you what, look at that bottom line moving. Come
so the yellow flag
in the
is
4th
official.
Position.
Wow.
They got 4 laps. I don't know if they'll get one in. I know we finished like this last week, so if there's no cars a lap down, we might get 1 lap. I don't know.
Every car right now from scoring that I can see is on the lead lap, so we should go green. It might be a green-white checker. So who was involved in that wreck? I'll go find a replay of that.
Boy.
Everybody?
Quite a few. I know Chris Elliott. I saw the Doritos car in there again. Yeah.
Oh no. I'll focus on Elliott. Yeah, he's definitely got no numbers on his roof. So I will rewind this, and we will find out what happened.
The stripe was outstanding, though. They were 3 and 4 wide coming off. We're going to see some really good highlights next week.
Yeah, 4 wide, and they didn't just do that for a split second. Like a 4th line actually formed. Oh my goodness. Okay, you want to count?
Come up 5th.
Let's count the flips on the 9 car. Unfortunately, again. So let's count the flips. We're going. Let's see. So there's 1. There's 2. That's almost 3, but then back the other way. So yeah, he flipped kind of 4, probably about 5. He kind of flipped back and forth a couple times.
All right, so there's no takers to pit road so far. So they are going to finish this race with the fuel that they have. However, I don't know that they've taken 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. We may get one green lap in here. I don't know. The lights are still on after this lap, but the flag is just dropped now. So let's see here what happens.
Yeah, the roof flaps on the 23 Hewlett definitely did their job, because that car would have been air underneath and up high if those hood flaps and roof flaps didn't come out. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. That was really, really intense. And I mean, I'm not putting blame on anybody for this wreck.
No,
I
you
mean,
can't, because it's coming down to the end, and we'd have to really analyze it to see if somebody made a mistake or whatever. But it happens. It's Talladega. You know what I mean?
The 8 car did a big slide, but that slide happened coming off the turn, and that can happen sometimes, and that's all it was.
That's the tough thing about, you really have to put your trust in these guys when you're 3 wide, especially if you're in the middle. You've got a car in front of you, a car in back of you, and one on each side. They're basically driving the car for you. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing you can do but just hang on and try to hold it straight. And even if you're on the bottom or the top, I mean, you've got the wall, a car, and then the world. And that's it. And the only way you can go is forward. So
with looking at Godfrey here on the replay, that's all that happens. Godfrey's got Farrell to his right, and he has to hold that line. And unfortunately, the 8 got a little bit of a slide coming off that turn. And I know how much of a pain it can be coming out of turn 2 onto this back straight, trying to hold that yellow. It's weird how your eyes can actually control kind of what you're doing, if that makes any sense. Like, when I'm coming out of that corner, I found the same thing used to happen to me. And I would have to seriously just not look anywhere except down that straightaway.
Right, yeah. You get almost like a tunnel vision.
Yeah, you do. And if you do look around, your car tends to move that way. So I find coming out of turn 2, like right there onto the back straight, I have to just look down that yellow line and just drive on it. And because I know if I don't, that happens to me a lot. What happened right there? You get that slide. And if it's too wide, it's fine.
And again, without having anywhere to go, because if you can't touch that yellow line, or because that's the apron, and then you've got a car to your outside, one in front of you and one in back, and they're all touching you from the front and back, especially. You're not even steering your car at this point. You know what I mean? If you've got one on your bumper and one on your front bumper, that's when you have to put a lot of trust into these guys that they're not going to make a mistake.
That's it.
You can tell it shows. I mean, look at Ken Roberts, and the lights are still on.
That's what I was just doing now. I'm focused on the pace car.
So it looks like we might be saying congratulations to Ken Roberts, and Rodney Solins is going to be now in the mix with these points standings. If we can get the points calculated sometime before we sign off, that might be a good ender. But we will be interviewing Ken Roberts for sure.
I'm thinking it's lap 45 right now. And then we'd be on lap 36. It could be a 1-lap shoot.
Let's see what happens here. If the lights go off, they're going to go 1 lap.
Yeah.
Which is actually
interesting. Which should be great.
Because, it's going to be a drag race if they get it.
I think all bets are off if that happens. If the lights go off right now, we will have a 1-lap green flag shootout to the checkered, and nobody will lift their foot off the gas because it's race back. If there is a yellow, it's a race back regardless.
If they crash before they reach back around, they're still racing back. So
So let's see the pace car here and watch if the blinky lights decide to go off. Oh.
We will have 1-lap shootout.
Oh my.
Wowee. Okay. All right. So this is going to be a drag race. These guys, if you miss a shift or you You know, this start has to be perfect. You got to come off the launch pad like the space shuttle. I'm telling you, because otherwise you're just gonna drown in a sea of these cars trying to.
You need to be, you need to be in first gear if you haven't shredded it. If you did break first gear, unfortunately, you have to start in second, and you're just gonna get railroaded. But most of these guys, I think they're going to be all right. This is going to, like you said, it's right down to the launch. So we've got on the inside Roberts, Palmer, Heiser, and Nate. And on the outside, we've got, what's that? Sullins, Shelton.
Jessica Shelton in fourth. I don't know if she has, I don't know what kind of relationship she has with some of these drivers, because I know a lot of these guys race in other leagues together, some not together.
But she's been in the Talladega Challenge over at Rolling Thunder Gaming with a bunch of these dudes.
Yeah, so I would think that she would be okay where she's at, and really try to help Rodney. I don't know that if anybody behind her would come with her. Maybe Godfrey's, if she would make a move to the outside or see a gap on the inside. I don't know, but I think I'm going to call Ken Roberts, because I think he'll just hold it strong, and Palmer will, he won't budge.
Yeah.
And same with
Palmer's going to push them.
I mean, they're going to have to come to the outside if anybody makes a move on any one of these four. So here we go, man. This is going to be crazy.
A one-lap shootout, one more lap around this place, and that'll be the winner of this race. And this is a 10-race season, so these points count. This is going to be exciting, to say the least.
White flag and green flag will fly at the same time. Pace cars off. Here they come to the stripe. And we are underway.
Good start for the bottom line. Doesn't really mean much, because we still have 2.6 miles to go.
A little bit of a gap behind them, and a little wiggle there off the...
Oh, they're moving to the high line.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They're helping out. See, look at that. The 7-11-94.
Yeah, here they come again.
That bottom line.
Heiser, Nate, and I don't know who that is behind Nate.
What's the number?
The 510 car.
The 510 is Brandstetter. Steven Brandstetter.
Yeah, Steven Brandstetter. And now here comes Roberts down to the inside in front of Heiser with the block.
Roberts can't pick a lane. That's interesting that he changed lanes.
He wants the winning lane, that's for sure.
Yeah, see, he's going
to try. Wow. They're wiggling back and forth trying anything.
Oh,
now
no.
They're crashing. They're all crashing.
Who got through?
Who got through here? It looks like it's going to be the 510.
No way. No way.
Now we've got some controversy here.
That is going to be Replay Central.
Yes, it is.
I'm just going to rewind it. Oh, man. Roberts was blocking hard. He changed lanes a couple times. Let's go into replay mode here. I got to get up there and see what's going on. I didn't know who to focus on because I had about 20 cars to pick from.
I can't believe Nate got involved in that.
Oh, it was Nate.
It was the 48 who snuck around there and came through.
I mean, again, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just looking for a car to focus on here. So let's see.
Because they're all trying to win. The 3 car was just way out of shape, and he got hit by Nate, and that was it.
That's it. Nate hit him.
Just about everybody,
but just not square enough to turn both of those guys. That's crazy how that little push from Nate, that bump draft from Nate, was just a little bit off center, and it actually turned both the cars. That shows you how close these guys are running.
Well,
because my scoring is showing that Pack won this race, the 48 car.
Yeah, my scoring shows the 48 got underneath, and I'll tell you what, that Brad Otto took a really hard shot, but managed to stay out of it.
I'm going to get on Nate because he is actually standing on his headlights.
Yeah, he pounded the number 3 and just almost sent him into the stands.
Well, that right there.
Like you said, like you were saying earlier, these guys just, when they're coming to the stripe like that, they just, even through that dog leg, they do not lift at all. It's either, because if you lift, you're going around. That's all there is to it if you got somebody behind you, because they're not.
And that dogleg trioval area is a really
Chris
wide.
Elliott come across the line backwards. He had to finish in reverse.
Okay, I gotta get on. I gotta get on Nate here. I don't even know where he is. He's actually standing. He's standing on his headlights the whole way down that. You know what? Let's get in the car. Hey, Nate.
I'm just looking here. Gary Heiser. If I were to put that on somebody.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're all so close. It's just a Talladega thing, I'm going to say. Oh, I see what you mean.
It looked like Heiser got a little bit out of shape because it looked like he was maybe going to look to the low side, and then that slowed his momentum a little bit. He really, I mean...
Oh, you know what? Yeah, now that I back that up a little bit more, I see what you're saying. He kind of did the old slingshot maneuver, and nobody was going to go with him on that low line, and he lost all his momentum. He had to pull wide like that because he would have rear-ended Roberts. But yeah, it's just...
Yeah, that was just an ugly wreck.
That's too bad. I mean, when you got nowhere to go, you got to make erratic maneuvers, and sometimes people get caught in it.
Because it's right about there, too, where they're coming into that dog leg where these cars are actually... Because you remember, they just come off a restart, one lap finish. So they're not... Okay, my server just backed up, so...
Oh, they kicked it out? Oh, I didn't get the export, so I don't have the points. Or the replay.
I don't have the points or the replay now either.
I do forget about that. I should have kept the replay and then gone back in and looked at the replay.
I don't know. All I know is that the 48 won the race. Alex Moe, better known as Pack, won the race. I don't know who came in second or third. So let's go ahead and pull Pack down. You want to pull him down now?
Yeah, let's grab him. Sure.
Okay. Alex, this is Brian and Blaine up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Boy, did you sneak one out, buddy.
Yeah, like I said, right when that race ended, I was not expecting to win that one, but the seas parted there in the tri-oval, and somehow I got the win. So
that was
you guys had the best view.
Yeah, we did. You guys really had a good race. Because you weren't really, you were kind of hanging around mid-pack to the back pretty much the whole race, and then you were kind of edging up there, towards the end of that green run, and then just right place at the right time, man. Congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations. Pretty much, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, that's usually my strategy at super speedways. I just hang in the back, keep the car clean, and make my run there at the end in the last 15-20 to go. I didn't, like I said, that last lap, I didn't think I had a shot. I was just trying to get a top 5, and I wasn't even going to get that until that massive wreck happened. Not sure who caused it. I think it was up there with the front 2 cars, but worked out.
It was pretty much, the front 3 guys just kind of got no room to go, and away she went. And like you said, the seas parted. I mean, that race was amazing. There was a section in there where we were watching it. You guys were out there 4 wide.
Yep, that got called out pretty quick, that 4 wide, and then I think that same lap or the next lap was when the second to the last caution happened, the one that set up that 1-lap shootout. But, I'll take the win. It's a great series here to win at. Proud of it. Proud of my teammates who I was communicating with during the race, and thanks for broadcasting, you guys.
Thanks for being in the race. The more the merrier, and that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a good race to call, man. You guys made it pretty easy there, but towards the end, we couldn't sort it out. Can you tell us who finished second and third?
No, I cannot tell you. I'd have to go look at the replay. I have no idea. I'm just as clueless as you guys are.
All right,
it was funny.
They were in a wad there at the end, so we really don't even know who. We knew you won because we backed it up, but they backed the server up on us before we could get the replay or the results.
Yeah, we knew that last lap, that 1-lap shootout was going to be racy. I was expecting a wreck. I wasn't expecting it to happen and for me to win the race. But like I said, I'll take it. Woo.
Win's a win, buddy. Congratulations. Good job. All right, we're gonna put you back. Yeah, we're gonna put you back, and we're gonna try to find out who come in second and third.
Yep, have a look. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely
Just a
wild
second. I'm gonna
finish.
jump up there and see.
Yeah, it was so crazy because it's one of those things where we're focused
Who
on.
finished second and third up here, guys?
You're still in here, dude. Okay, while Brian's figuring that out, yeah, we're so busy looking at the replays of the calamity that ensued. The results are definitely going to be unofficial. They're going to have to peel through that replay, and 100%, it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be a lot of work, especially maybe not so much for the finish, but I think maybe for the more like they really do need to take into account the season standings. They got to make sure it's right. It looked like a couple, like a little bit of an erratic maneuver, but we got Randy. And
Hello.
it's hey now, 4 wide races. Why not, eh?
Yeah, Randy is our. Sorry about that. Randy is our second place finisher.
There it is.
Yeah, that was wild. I was just trying to get a top 10, and I saw those cars spin up in front of me, and I went low, and was nobody in front of me, so I kept my foot in it. Got lucky.
We were talking
That's
about
all
that
you
was a
gotta do,
wild
yeah.
finish.
Yeah, when it comes down to that last
Oh, go ahead,
corner,
Blaine, sorry.
yeah, when it comes down to that last corner, you just got to keep the hammer down, and there's nothing you can do. Push the guy in front of you and hope you stay in a straight line.
Yeah, I was lucky, but I'm glad to have it.
That was a good job throughout the whole race, Randy. Really, and to come up second after that gigantic wreck at the. I mean, those cars were just in a wad up in the fence and everything else, and we couldn't sort it out. They shut the server off on us before we got the replay and the results, so we didn't even know who came in second and third.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a hold of Jeffrey here and get the official export.
Well, Jeffrey actually did finish in third position, so we can bring him down here in a minute too. But congratulations, Randy! Good job, man. You're going to be up there in the points in this whole series, and the way you race, we know we'll be talking to you again.
I sure appreciate it, man. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you,
I
Randy.
just want to thank you guys for doing this, and thank the Elliots for running this league. It's a lot of fun. Great guys to run with, but I just really enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's definitely enjoyable.
I know you get pretty excited, man. But you're a racer like I was at one point. You really wear your heart on your sleeve, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, sometimes I probably open my mouth when I should.
Hey, man, you're passionate about it, and that's what we like, man. So we'll definitely be talking to you again, I'm sure, in the upcoming weeks, man. So good luck to you, and congratulations again.
I hope so. Can I do a shout out?
Sure, absolutely, man. Mike's yours.
I need a shout out to my kids, Christian and Corey, and my grandkids, Asher, Adrian, and I'm sorry, I broke up. Asa. And another shout out to a buddy of mine out in he's down in Middle Alabama, and today is his birthday, so I want to wish him a happy birthday and say way to go, and hope he's watching tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, we got a lot of viewers, so hopefully he's one of them.
Very cool.
Oh,
What was his name? Happy birthday to
his
who?
name. His name is Zach.
There it is.
So 10-4, buddy. Good job again, man. And thanks so much for being a part of Tarnation TV. And again, man, we're looking forward to talking to you up here in the booth again, because we know those finishes are coming, man. So again, congratulations, and we will talk to you again.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good one.
Thank you, Randy. Have a good night.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you do want to subscribe to Tarnation TV here on YouTube, let it rip, man. There's a subscribe button right beside it. There's a bell if you want a text message when we go live. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it, and hit the dislike button, thumbs down if you didn't. Oh, yeah.
And now we have in the booth third place finisher and league owner and head admin, Jeffrey Elliott, man. Good job avoiding that big wad at the end there.
My God.
Well, yeah, you know what? That was insane because I was damaged from the previous wreck. And by the way, hello, guys. Hello, Blaine. I didn't get to say hi to you all night. So thank you for
I got a quick request, though. When you're done with the interview here, would it be possible for you on Facebook Messenger to send me the export for the race?
I will do that. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I need the replay as well.
Yeah,
Exports
server backed up on us. We didn't even know who finished second and third because the server backed up on us after that giant wreck.
We were so enthralled with that finish. I was like, oh, no, I didn't get the export. So, yeah, if you could send that to me, I'll get it up on the broadcast before we finish it off tonight. But, yeah, you ask a guy, how did you get through that wreck? You just keep the hammer down and just drive to the light.
That's pretty much all you can do in these Talladega races, you know. And before that race, I was on the outside fighting for the lead 3 wide with some guy, Nate, I thought it might be a great finish for that, but you know, it gets tight 4 wide there, I thought one time. But yeah, that last crash, you know, I was just gonna be happy trying to get a lucky top 12, and all of a sudden it just opened up like, you know, oh my goodness, everything's going to the wall. So dive low, and here I am in 3rd place. So you never know.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch, man. That was a really fun race to call too, man. We were talking all you guys up, and we really enjoyed it. It was fun. Congratulations! You're going to be up there in the points now on this thing.
Yeah, I think I'm 9th first race, and of course 3rd helps. It's hard to win these. It's hard to win a sprint race. You know, like you said, I'm part of the admin crew, owner, whatever you like to say. It's hard to win these things, and congratulations to a guy named Brian Wolf that is doing broadcasting, which is you, bud. Congratulations on your win tonight. And you know, it's a lot of fun, man. It's crazy out there. It was a really good race tonight. I mean, I think we just had a couple cautions, and it happens. It's Talladega, baby. You know, you just have for this race is survival.
That's the thing, yeah. And it came down to the end, and it was just, there was nowhere to move, no space, and well, away goes the big one with, you know, a couple 100 yards to the finish. That's when the big one happens. It's like, oh my.
I still don't know how that happened. I haven't seen what happened.
Roberts went across the line, and his car looked like a tin can spinning, and he was still going like 120 mile an hour. Like he got shot out of that ball of cars like a cannon.
Like a tornado.
He ended up finishing 12th or something. He looked like the Tasmanian devil. And it was like, I'm like, man, even upside down, sideways spinning, the guy still got like a 12th place finish. And yeah, from what we were looking at on the replay, it just kind of looked like, what was it, number 3? Is that Heiser? Yeah,
Heiser. Yep.
He switched lines, and then there was a couple bumps that had to happen, and they weren't 100% squared up. And it just caused about like 3 cars to get turned.
Yeah, it looked to me like Heiser was maybe, you know, that squirrel in front of your car that can't make up his mind, and he finally decides to go for it, you know, and he just, you know, he just ran out of time, you know what I mean, and just kind of hooked the 55 of Ken Roberts, and it was just like I said, a walk.
Hard racing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was just one of those things. I mean, it wasn't really anybody's, you know, mistake, but it was just, you know, trying to find the line to get to the front is not always there.
And when it comes down to one lap shootout, everybody's is going for it. And it's the last thing any of us wants to see as drivers is wrecking another guy. That's the last thing in our mind. And I'm sure Roberts and everybody involved in that wreck will understand that. We've all been in them, we've all caused them, and we all get caught up in them. So unfortunately, it comes with the territory of Talladega Nights, or Talladega, and Talladega Nights, and anywhere else you race. But is it Tarnation TV?
Tarnation TV. Yes.
TV.
Tarnation TV.
I
want to thank you guys. I can't wait to watch this over again. I'm going to bed, be watching this and listening to you guys, and thank you so much for doing this for us, guys. Appreciate it. And,
Thank you so much for letting us use your race server to work out all these bugs. It went off like without a hitch tonight, though. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know what happened earlier with the Lavelle brothers, some connection issues, I guess, and
that was what we guessed. Yeah,
I don't know what happened there, but that's up to them, and hopefully they can figure out the connection issue. But hate to see anybody leave due to connection issues, and hopefully we can get that squared away for anybody that can do it. But anyways,
most definitely, man. Well, thank you so much for having us here, and thank you for being part of Tarnation TV. And we're going to go ahead and put you back, and we're going to close out, and we will see you all next week.
Yeah, can you toss me that export there, buddy? I can put it up on the broadcast before we bail on you.
Chris, real quick, because it went off on my screen before I had a chance to do it, so I got to get with Chris. But hey, go Talladega Nights, shake and bake, baby. Let's do it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Outstanding. All right, thank you, Jeff.
All right, brother.
Next Saturday will be September the 25th, 2022. So, no, September the 24th. Is that what I said? Sure. September 24th. This will be race number 3, and we will be here calling it. As of right now, we will be here calling it. And Tarnation TV is a YouTube channel, and if you want to follow it, do your subscription thing. And yes, sir.
Hey, Dan Lavelle like to come down here and say a few words. That'd be all right?
Yeah, man.
Sure.
I'll bring him down for you guys.
Cool.
And now we're going to welcome Dan Lavelle to the broadcast booth. Welcome, Dan.
Good day, Dan.
Hey.
What's on your mind, buddy? That's
no. I
you
didn't
guys.
have anything on my mind. I just thought y'all needed to talk to the top 5 or something. I didn't know what y'all, did. I don't race here very often, so I thought you talked to the top 5 or something.
Oh, we love talking to everybody.
We're talking to everybody. Generally, we interview the top 3.
That was a good race, guys. I enjoyed that. Appreciate y'all letting me come over here and race with you.
We're just here calling the race and covering
the wild
the stats. Yeah, it was. Where'd you come up at? Where'd you finish?
If somebody's talking there, I can barely hear you.
Dan Lovell, where did you finish in the race? Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll try to get with Dan maybe next week.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe there's an issue with the microphones. Yeah, that was strange. It's like he couldn't hear us.
Well, I know he lives in the same town as Brian and Greg, so he was saying that actually during the sprint races we had earlier. So there might be a connection or a weather issue or something on their side. I don't know, but
sometimes you get those
man,
weather
what a blast
problems.
Tonight, huh, Blaine?
I had a riot watching that. It was such a good race. I mean, we didn't even get a yellow. We had green flag pit stops. There was a couple of yellows. Everybody was going to make it on fuel. You get that late caution, and now you're like, okay, we're going to get a one lapper, and that it couldn't have ended any better. I mean, if the whole race went green, that would have been great too. But sometimes the yellow is kind of fun to just kind of change up the pit strategy a little bit.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I had a blast. I can't wait to do it again next week, and it's going to get even better and better and better as this series goes on. I can just feel it.
Yeah, I do agree, because now that we've got race number 2 under our belts and the way that thing finished, a lot of the cars that should have won, as you saw, clearly did not. So that will happen at Talladega. It's so fast, it's so tight, and sometimes there's nowhere to go. And who can win? Anybody. That's the answer to that one.
Well, usually, I mean, like tonight, they really stretched out and ran in single file there for a while. So usually when it's 2x2 or even, 3 wide, these races are really hard to call because of so many lead changes and so many position changes. It's like, okay, I just call them out by their numbers as I see them. So
pretty much,
it's kind of hard to, I mean, as exciting as it is to watch, it's kind of hard to follow almost and call the race for the viewers. But we'll get there, man. We'll get there. Tonight was a lot of fun. I think we did a whole lot better than last week, and onward and upward, my friend.
Yeah. Other than dropping the ball on the export, I think, because right now I can't show the final results, but I will get them from Jeff, and you can check the video description below. And I believe if YouTube still allows it to happen, I may be able to actually put them up on the actual screen. If not the entire field, maybe at least the top 10. YouTube used to allow you to actually input like what do they call it, like overlays. So
Okay.
definitely
But
check
again,
down
I
in
mean,
the description
that's-
box, and I'll have the full unofficial race results in the description below. And that's basically our broadcast for this evening.
And yeah, and you can also find those results, and that's, I mean, that's just something. I mean, we can save that for next week. I mean, we'll have them for sure by then, and the points will be updated, and we'll see who's moving where and why, and we'll take it from race 3, which is going to get even better. This thing's going to get more intense as we go. I'm telling you.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and if you
If that finish tonight tells us anything, wow.
Yeah, you just gave me an idea, actually, because Talladega Nights does have a website, and it is also located in the description box below. And because I am a wizard when it comes to computer stuff, let's put the website directly on the screen right now. Ooh, look at how janky this looks. This is fantastic. People love this stuff. Look at the high quality digital graphical effects right there. So if you want to check out the website at tallyteams.wixsite.com/tallyteams, if you go there, which that link is also clickable in the description below, you can find the export. And you know what? The great thing about that website is that will be the official results, where I would only be able to show you the unofficial results because, hey, Jeff's got a couple more days of peeling through replays, which will basically be, oh, check it out. He just sent me a text message. Thank you, Mr. Jeff. See, if we filibuster long enough, we can definitely figure this out. Boom. Will that work?
Actually, it is 10 to 11 o'clock in the PM, so I am going to sign off and let you close us out.
Alrighty then. Thank you very much, Mr. Wolf.
Thank you very much. Blaine, stay in your lane. What a pain, Donlin.
That's usually what happens. Yeah, that ends up being my name because it rhymes with a lot of other stuff.
Had
Lucky
a
me.
blast, man. I can't wait for next week, and we'll see you next time.
Right on, buddy. Thank you very much. There goes Brian Wolf off into the sunset. Thank you, Brian, for joining me in the broadcast room. And thank you very much to Jeffrey Elliott for the last-minute request to actually get the unofficial results. As you can see, Alex won the race. Randy Waugh in second. Jeffrey Elliott in third rounds out your podium. And you can see, obviously, down the list here, was it 12th? Let's see, where did he end up? Ken Roberts ended up in 11th place. Now, he led 37 laps of a 47-lap race, and he got the pole position, so he will get the bonus point for the pole, he will get the bonus point for the laps led, and he will get 11th place points as well on the season. So, thank you for all the drivers. It was definitely fun to watch. A couple new names showed up this week. Deaver in the number 8, finishing in 8th. Like, he comes out, he shows up, he gets an 8th place finish. So, absolutely amazing to see the talent racing on this track. Next week, it'll all happen again. Hopefully, we get as good of a turnout as we did today. So, again, if you were watching this broadcast, thank you very much for watching. This is Tarnation TV. My name is Blaine Donlin. I was joined by Brian Wolf and the entire crew here at Talladega Nights. Thank you very much. What a fantastic race it was to call. It's easy to call such a good race like that. Definitely a lot of fun. Saturday nights, it is 2002. It is September 17th. We'll see you next week on the 24th for another one as we work our way to the championship race number 10. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your stick on the ice.
wishes just makes me wanna die. I understand how I might have pushed you away, and it seems